from what I understand, we only have 10% of what we had 100 years ago as far as the wading birds go. So it was just probably just magical 100 years ago as far as the wading birds. But so we had wardens in here guarding the birds before it became an Audubon sanctuary.
And one of the wardens was killed.
Yep.
Yeah,
down in Flamingo,
Yeah.
and we'll be down there on Saturday. But we'll see where he was killed. There's a key down there, a mangrove key that's called Bradley Key now, named for him where he was killed. But Audubon, we've been here since the late 1800s actually, and every generation has a new threat. Back in the turn of the century, last time it was the wading bird population, and like that, we won the Plume Wars, and then it was the loggers who were going to come in and cut it all, and then it was the developers who were going to drain it all. Then it's agriculture that's comes in for sugar, and then it's mercury pollution is the next thing from all the incinerators they would put in. There's always every generation has a new threat. And we're here, we want to be here permanently, so that we don't know what the threat's going to be 10 or 20 years from now, but we want to be here and ready for whatever that is. There's a new threat every generation. It'll never go away. You got to be here permanently. You never save them permanently.
Yeah. And one of the problems, especially with the Woodstork, which is endangered, and normally we have the largest nesting colony in the United States, is they like to nest above standing water, which we have, or here or on islands, but they like to feed in outlying areas, these shallow ponds that used to be all over down here. And a lot of that has turned into golf courses and tomato fields, and so their feeding range has been severely reduced.
So that's why Audubon always believed that we work to protect things now, but the reason we do education is so the next generation will be there when the next threat comes along. And then they educate the next generation because there'll be another threat after that, and there's always got to be the next generation there to do whatever comes along, whatever it's going to be. You can never predict what it's going to be. Yeah. But we know it'll be something, and there needs to be people on the ground who know about it and care about it, and will be there when we need it. Which is why we build centers like this, so that people in the community care about it, and we're here and ready for whatever comes up. And right now, it's in a real estate boom, it's the developers coming in. Yeah. 30 years ago, nobody ever thought this stuff would get developed. This was like being on the moon. It's the last place in the world you'd think would be developed, and now you get out there, and there's you never thought. So we're here, and we're fighting that battle now.
6 inches above the water line.
Yep.
But the interesting thing is we've monitored our water levels in here for years and years and years, and a lot of the developers want to divert the water, and the minute they start rearranging the water, we notice it right away, because all of a sudden our water levels aren't what they should be historically. So fortunately we have people that are monitoring those things regularly. But
so we've got the science when we go to court to show that it's actually affecting us, and because we've got many years of data, that allows us to demonstrate the change.
That's so important.
Great foundation.
It's like basil sort of. Yeah, bay leaves.
Ooh.